Welcome, everybody, to the Beyond Us podcast. It's your boy, Salo, joined here by the lovely Daniel.
Hey.
Brett, how you guys doing?
Oh, living life.
Kind
Kind of living life.
Kind of living life?
Sometimes it doesn't feel that way.
Facts.
Whoa.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. So how's everybody's weekend? Or week?
Brett, you go first.
Yeah.
Shit.
Same. Oh, no.
All right, same. All right.
Is that my answer, too? Oh, no. Recap. Next segment.
No. It's been a time.
At least you survived.
Sure.
So far.
So far, so good. Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, I guess we can start saying happy holidays.
Man, I think you can start saying it with Thanksgiving, right?
Once
say
Thanksgiving
it when there's
passes,
a holiday.
Once Thanksgiving passes, I'm okay with the whole Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa season.
So we had our tree up before Thanksgiving.
Putting your tree up is fine. Outdoor decorating is not.
That's fair. People ball out.
Because if you got a lot, because you might have a lot to do indoors and not all the time. I'm fine with you doing what you want indoors. Stop flashing Christmas to me before Thanksgiving. We got another holiday on the way.
Thanksgiving.
Bro, when I walk into the store and Halloween has just
ended and it's already Christmas
literally
music?
it's the next day.
Drives me
They
nuts.
put all the Halloween shit into a fucking corner and everything is Christmas.
And it's
I'm
Christmas music. It drives me nuts.
I'm like, we haven't had Thanksgiving yet.
And look,
Can
I'm
we
not
have that first?
I'm not trying to be a humbug. I'm not. Like, I don't hate Christmas or anything. I don't like. And you know what? It probably wouldn't be as bad if there were so many people that were like 214 days until Christmas.
And it's only encouraged by the companies because they're like,
right,
oh,
because
let's
it's their
make
money
early.
Right.
Yeah, profit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I think it's the people that are like that all year that make me hate it even more when everyone turns into it. You know what I mean?
Like what I see
can only
every
hear.
time. It's every time. The moment Christmas ends, that post, it's like, I've been waiting all year to post this.
364
days till Christmas.
Yeah. Drives me fucking nuts. Or the people who, as soon as, like, I don't know, 4th of July is over, it's spooky season. No, it's not.
Already buying their fucking costumes.
Can we hit October first?
Can we at least get out of summer?
No.
Here's what I find acceptable. Obviously, this is just me. Get to the month. When you are in the month of the holiday, you're good.
Unless it's a holiday that's early in a month. Like if you're
that's fair.
Like if you're super patriotic, 4th of July, you can start getting hyped for 4th of July, second to last week of June.
Yeah, that's fair. But
or like if you're big on Easter, you can start getting hyped for Easter in March, even if it's on April 3rd.
So here's the thing with that. With those holidays, it's more so just planning.
Mm-hmm.
You're planning that far in advance because you're trying to get everybody on board. I don't see somebody just going,
right
in May, just going 4th of July.
No, that's true.
Like I'm just like.
So this is actually a conversation I've had, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna bring it up. Like, am I the only one that finds it weird that we only have 2 holidays that don't have a set date?
What days are those?
Easter and Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah. Thanksgiving's the 3rd Thursday.
It's the 3rd Thursday of November, and
yep.
Fucking Easter is just random. Sometimes it's in March, sometimes it's in April.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, I don't quite understand Easter. Every time it gets to Easter, I have to ask somebody, when is Easter?
I don't know the rules for Easter anymore. I used to.
I don't. I did at one point, but I fell off on,
I just think it's
celebrating
weird
it.
that, like, Easter and Thanksgiving are the only 2 majorly consumed holidays, obviously. Because there's so many holidays if you start just saying the term holiday. But major, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Federal holidays. Like, they're the only two that don't have a set date. Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July. Hell, even things that aren't federal holidays like Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. Like, they have set dates. It's just weird to me. And I get that we want to do Thanksgiving in a way where it's like, well, it's always on Thursday. That way people have the week to get there. If it's on a Tuesday, just go on Saturday. Like, you can
Easter
still leave 4
rule.
days early. Like, it's up to you.
So the rule for Easter is Easter falls on the first Sunday after the full moon date based on mathematical calculations that falls on or after March 21st.
Right, yeah. So like I said, don't make any fucking sense. Pick a date.
Wait. This is news to me. Maybe I never knew.
No, that sounds
It's
right.
nautical?
Yes. Yes.
Easter's nautical? Why?
I don't know.
I'm so curious now. Why?
While we're on this, I got a question. What's the most overhyped holiday? Like, real holiday. We're not counting, like, fucking Valentine's Day.
Overhyped?
Valentine's Day.
No. Valentine's Day doesn't count.
No.
It's not a holiday.
I would say the most overhyped, like, actually gets hyped.
Like it's the most unnecessary on how into it people get.
Black Friday? Is that a holiday?
No.
That's
I'd say
my
New
unofficial
Year's.
answer.
I'd say New Year's.
New Year's?
I hate New Year's. I hate the concept of New Year's. Why are we all celebrating so much? Because 99% of people don't mean jack shit when they set New Year's resolutions. They give up on them halfway through January.
It's another commercialized holiday.
Just because it's 2023 now doesn't mean that you're going to stop being a fucking turd.
Yes, it does. And you buy our liquor and you buy our fitness plans in
It's just-
January. That's when
right.
our customer base goes all the way up, and then we dip for the rest of the year.
And that's why it's like, it's commercialized. But it's not...
That's how they stay afloat.
There's nothing to it. Like, at least with 4th of July, it's, it's country pride. And with Christmas, it's supposed to be about family. And with Thanksgiving, it's supposed to be about family. Hell, Halloween's fucking lit.
Halloween does get pretty lit.
Halloween's like the only holiday that no matter how old you get, if you know how to have fun, you know how to have fun.
Don't matter what age.
But, like, I just feel like New Year's is just so annoying. And it's not that I hate the idea of, like, oh, hey, let's all get together, watch the ball drop, have some champagne. Like, that's cool. We made it to another year. Fuck yeah, we're not dead yet. But just, like Salo said, it's a commercial holiday. Everybody just wants to make a quick buck off the people that think that the new year means they're a new person. I'm sorry,
Planet
Tina,
Fitness
you're
over
still
here
Tina.
getting their... Planet Fitness getting ready.
Right.
They make all their business in 3 days alone.
For real.
January 1st to
Through
January 3rd.
They make so much fucking money.
And make it impossible for you to cancel their subscription. You're fucked. You're fucked. They're your own now by Planet Fitness.
And the problem is you can't even get out of it by saying, like, well, I'm moving. We got a Planet Fitness there, don't worry.
Everywhere.
They'll
be like, I don't care if you're deploying. We still need a letter signed and certified mailed to these P.O. box on this business day by this date.
I'll just change my fucking card.
Yeah.
Yo, they used to want your account and routing number, and that was bullshit. I was like, no.
I don't give my account and routing number out like that.
No. Because you need to close the entire account.
Things be asking for your account. Like when I made my PayPal, they were like, do you want to add your bank account? And I'm like, no, bitch, I'll add a card.
No.
I'll add a card. If you want us to direct deposit it, we need to have your banking information. Send me a check.
So there, like a situation where having your bank account connected could be a good thing is like with a credit card.
Yeah.
So like you can always have access to your bank account, even if like, let's say, because that's what happened to me. Like my card went out. So, like, I could make all my purchases on my credit card, pay it off, and then make more purchases until I got my new card.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even think of that. It would auto pay, and then you'd have that available balance without having access to the.
Well, I can just make payments.
You could just transfer the payment over.
Yeah, like yeah.
So when you make the payment, that'll make it the available balance, though, right? That's cool. Okay, that's smart.
No, that's fair. I don't know.
I just wouldn't do it for bills. I don't know. I just don't like that.
I don't mind having... I personally like having my bills on auto pay.
Yeah.
But it's through my card, not through my bank account.
That's smart. Because you can prevent a lot of fraud through the credit card. A lot easier than debit card.
Right.
Too.
But alas...
But yeah, New Year's Eve is the most commercialized holiday, I think. Especially for the liquor company.
At least most commercialized real, like, actual holiday, yeah. Valentine's Day, all it is a marketing scheme. I've always hated Valentine's Day. And the reason I hate
Valentine's Day every day.
And it's not even because I'm single. Like, even when I was married, I hated Valentine's Day because it's like, why do I need a specific day to show the person I'm with that I love them? If you need a day to be a good fucking partner, you shouldn't be a partner.
A lot of relationships are like that, though.
That's super unhealthy.
Carrot and a stick.
That's super unhealthy. If you need a day to remind you to not be a turd, we have a problem.
I'm not against a day, like a day where, regardless of, what you have going on in your life, you set aside that time.
That's an anniversary.
Anniversary. But
that's a birthday. I just feel like if you need to be setting aside time for your relationship to flourish, then you should do it on your own. Say, the third Sunday of every month, that's date night. We don't get enough date nights, honey, babe, whatever you want me to call you. Third Sunday, every month. Don't make plans. I won't make plans. Fuck the boys. Fuck the girls. Fuck them. It's you and me. Date night. If you're not willing to do that for the person you're with, you shouldn't be with them. Now, obviously,
I agree with that. Yeah.
There are extenuating circumstances. If you work and you have to get called in and shit happens. Mm-hmm. If you're active duty and you get deployed, shit happens. You can't help that. But other than that, you should have a plan. If you need your relationship to flourish by having a set aside day, pick a fucking day every month. Third Tuesday of the month. It's you and me, Taco Tuesday, and board games. You and me, bitch. Ooh. Fuck everyone else.
So I'm not against people using Valentine's Day as a day set aside, but it shouldn't be your only day of the year.
You shouldn't need that day to prove it.
Yeah.
If you use that day, by all means.
For me, Valentine's Day is just an excuse for me just to do stuff that I would normally do anyways, but on a particular date.
Well, what helps, and this is speaking to the consumer side, products are now geared to help you with that during that time period, because it makes getting those gifts and things that like your significant other might enjoy a lot easier.
But it's also more expensive. There's a surcharge for that too.
Sometimes there's a lot of discounts because they're going to be selling more product.
Now I'll tell you this: you know what Valentine's Day is good for? Them after Valentine's Day chocolate discounts.
I was gonna say I would love it if there was like after Valentine's Day jewelry discounts, like there was for Halloween. I'd be.
But chocolate, they got to get rid of that chocolate.
He ain't gonna make it.
That shit'll go bad. Nah, I was talking to my buddy. I was video chatting with him because we hadn't talked in a while, and his kid was just munching down on candy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's his Halloween candy," and I'm like. It's been like a month and a half.
Halloween candy?
It's been like a month and a half. He still got Halloween candy? And he's like, that's last year's Halloween candy. I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Somebody take this kid
to
the
What?
No.
Somebody go get the mom.
No.
She was sitting right there.
No.
She was eating it with him, bro. I'm like, no. Look, I'm already getting nervous eating candy that's been sitting there for a month. I'm not eating candy that's been sitting there for a year. Now,
no child of mine.
Have you guys had like an old pack of M&Ms?
An old pack of M&Ms?
Yeah, like never opened, but it's
definitely
old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just tastes stale.
Yeah. Who knew chocolate could be stale? I found out from M&M's. Like how stale chocolate can actually be.
Yup.
I know Twix will like harden.
Oh yeah, like chewing on fucking concrete.
Yeah. It turns into the nougat turns into like a taffy, and it's just and it's just
hard to
takes
chew.
forever to chew. Yeah.
I don't like old candy.
So trying to do this earlier, we do have I hear a fuck ton of questions.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and pull up Twitter. Make sure we didn't get any last minute questions today. I know we had one on Twitter from Murphy. We did get a last minute question. I'm not going to read it yet. All right, so we'll do the other question first.
Okay.
So Murphy asked us, at Beyond Us, what do you think is the most successful video game franchise that follows one character? So I think that's the key part of this. It has to follow the same character for all the games.
So would Assassin's Creed not be it? Okay.
No, it would have been up until the fourth game because it followed Desmond,
right?
But once they killed off Desmond, no,
because it was technically Desmond
going back in time in the Animus, right? Now, me personally, I wrote a better ending to Assassin's Creed. I thought they should have kept going with Desmond. Had the fifth game be because the fourth game was like the Civil War. I would have had like the fifth game be like World War II, something like that, where they start getting like more advanced guns, and then at the end of the fifth game, Desmond dies, and the sixth game, you wake up. You were going back to being Desmond the whole time. The whole time. And you get to customize your own character for the first time. And the whole time, the whole first 5 games, you never knew it, but you were in the Animus going back to Desmond's memories.
Ooh, a little bit like Avatar.
It would have been a mindfuck. But no, I wouldn't. Avatar wouldn't count. So this is tough because it's where do you draw the line on what counts and what doesn't?
So with based off of what's happened like recently, one of the first things that comes to mind is God of War. With how long
it spanned
in terms of how successful it's been.
I mean, let's see. When did the first God of War game come out?
By the way, Salo, Mario doesn't work
because Luigi's gotten his own games.
It disqualifies it. Okay.
I think Bowser had his own game at one point.
But the question is, do those count as the same story?
Right.
Because then that's where you get into that rocky territory. Because if not, if we don't count things like Luigi's Mansion, then it has to be Mario.
Yeah.
But if we count those, then it disqualifies them. Zelda's a great answer.
Because I can't think of a game where you don't play as Link. Where you're specifically not following it.
All right, let's see. First God of War game.
Smash Bros.
Real quick.
Smash Bros. You're not following Link.
But that's not a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Fair.
First God of War game came out in 2005. And it has been following Kratos the entire time.
It's that old?
He's literally spanned 2 different ethos.
Yeah.
For those uninformed, what are ethos?
Mythologies.
Oh, really?
Okay. So it started in Greek mythology with gods like Zeus and Athena and in the world of Olympus and stuff like that. Now it's in Norse mythology. And there's talks about it spanning to another one, maybe Egyptian.
Just in case anyone hears that word in a different context, it more closely resembles belief.
Right.
So you can have an ethos that has nothing to really do with religion if you ever hear it in that context.
Yeah, for sure.
But most of the time when you hear ethos, it's meant in what Daniel just said, mythology and stuff like that.
That makes sense. Because I've heard ethos in the first in the way you're explaining it now too. So
yeah, like military members might be familiar with warrior ethos.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my vote for that would be Zelda. because you just follow Link the whole time.
So I'm checking to see if that's the case.
I can't think of any like side games.
So apparently there are Legend of Zelda games that don't have Zelda.
What?
Zelda
or Link?
Zelda. There are Legend of Zelda games that don't have Zelda. There is a spin-off where you do not play as Link.
Really?
But the question is, do we count spin-offs? It specifically says it's a spin-off game.
So it's not like a... Okay.
It's a spin-off title that specifically follows Zelda.
I think spin-offs don't count because they're not really taking away from the main storyline, you know? Like Luigi, he's taking away, like you're focusing on Luigi.
I think spin-offs count.
Whose side are you on?
I think they count.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends.
Just to give it a fair argument, like, let's say God of War. God of War doesn't have a spin-off where you follow somebody else. It is his story.
It is his story through and through. It is.
Now, in like the recent games, you do play as his son.
Yeah, in the last one,
it
you
is
can play
still
as
Kratos' story, and he's the main character.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard because so I would think it depends. Here's what I'll say. In my opinion,
what is the spinoff called?
Let me see if I can find that.
That might be a big determiner. Because if it's in the same vein of title, I think we have to count it.
Hang on. So it's actually a crossover game. It does feature Link and Zelda, but doesn't only follow them. You play as a character known as Cadence in Cadence of Hyrule, a Legend of Zelda and Crypt of the Necrodancer game. So it's a collab.
Yeah, I don't know if
I mean, that's no different than a spinoff. It just features characters from another game.
In that case, would Smash Brothers also be...
Smash Brothers doesn't have a story, so to speak.
I mean, it does have a story mode.
It has a story mode, but it doesn't have a story mode. Doesn't have an overarching story that you can tell. And if we're being honest, Smash Bros. Still heavily features Mario. Heavily. There's like 6 different versions of him.
They do have multiple versions of Mario.
They do, that's so funny.
He's the fucking cover piece of the game. Like, Mario is still the main character, if we're being honest.
So then we have to discuss, do we count like Luigi's Mansion as a Mario game or a spinoff? So
I think the question is, so to me, whether or not a spinoff should count in this kind of conversation is, does the spinoff's story relate to the overarching story? If it doesn't, it shouldn't count.
So, for Smash Bros, it wouldn't count.
Smash Bros is like its own entity.
Yeah.
So what in Mario goes away from Mario, but is still important for its story?
So here's the problem. Here's why I don't think I could say Mario anyway. Mario only has like 2 game-long stories, and then it changes stories again.
What do you mean, like the storyline isn't consistent?
But it
keeps getting reset.
It is still a successful...
Sure.
Successful in the Mario chain. So, like, you have to include them. At what point do you say, hey, this is still in this realm, but it features a different character?
Let me reread the question and make sure we're on the same page on wording. Because I might have forgotten what... Most success. So it's not about story. It's most successful franchise.
Yes. Most successful franchise that feature that.
I think spin-offs count for a franchise. Then
because
they're part of the franchise.
Yeah.
Which would then
all-encompassing.
Which would then eliminate Mario because of a Luigi's Mansion. And franchise is all-encompassing of a property.
And it would eliminate
Zelda because of Zelda crossover because of this.
Yep.
And the only other thing I could even think that can compete with God of War would be Halo, but it can't be Halo because of ODST.
Yeah, ODST you don't play as Master Chief.
And Halo
Reach.
That's just like the tabletop game.
No.
Which one is the tabletop?
I don't remember the
It's kind of like a tabletop
game, but Halo Reach you also don't play Master Chief. You play different Spartans.
Oh god. Are you sure? I thought you played Master Chief in Reach.
Nope. In Reach you are playing this is before like Halo Reach is a prequel technically within the Halo universe. It happens like when Spartans were the big thing and there were like teams and teams of Spartans. And then what happens is all the Spartans go to war on a planet and the planet like everyone dies. Like everyone just gets fucking killed. And then it transitions.
That's what it was called. Halo Wars.
Halo Wars. Okay, yeah.
Noble Six is the main character of
Yep.
Halo Reach. Yeah, so Halo has to be eliminated based on just franchise that follows one character. It might be God of War. Ooh. Hold on. Metal Gear. It always follows Solid Snake. No?
It doesn't.
No.
Are you sure?
There's different snakes. There's Solid Snake. There's Naked Snake. I
don't know if you're trolling or not now.
Is that a real thing? So like in one of the more recent ones, the big boss is the old Snake. Snake is he has clones. You play as different snakes.
Do clones mean you're not the same character?
They're literally different people in the verse.
Okay. All right.
Literally different people. Yeah, it doesn't count. It doesn't work.
That's so funny.
It might be God of War then.
I'm cool with submitting God of War. Unless we come up with something in the future, I'm cool with submitting God of War.
Let's sit on God of War for now. Unless, Salo, you got anything else?
No, God of War seems perfect to me.
All right.
I can't think of any other better example.
I think we can move
Is Pikachu in every Pokemon game?
But it's not his story, and there's so many different
It's always Pikachu's story.
It's absolutely not Pikachu's story.
All right, let's move on.
It's not even Ash's story.
No, Ash isn't even in fucking the games.
All of them, none of the games, yeah.
All right, let's move on to our new question that I haven't read yet. At Beyond Us, would you rather only be able to play games that are 10 years old or older, or only be able to play games that are younger than 10 years? It's from the day you're playing, so if you go older, the catalog will grow over time. If you go younger, it will always be revolving. So the day you're playing a game, you can either only play games that came out before 10 years before that day, or only play games that came out within the last 10 years.
Actually,
that's really tough.
Maybe
I can't play them again.
Once they become 10 years old, you can't play them again.
Maybe
if you go younger.
Maybe I would go younger.
I would go younger because they would always change and be better.
Thinking realistically, just like with the way I live my life right now, I'm not playing really old games.
Right.
I'm not playing games from 10 years ago. It's just not.
So here's the question, because this leaves room for wiggling. What about remasters? Do they count as the date of the original or the date of the remaster? Because it's the old game with just upgraded graphics.
Given the fact that if you look up remasters, they have their own release date. I would say it counts as its own game.
In my biased opinion, it would count as its own game because I like the newer one.
I think that there's an
He
argument
goes
to be
out of
had that
focus.
I think there's an argument to be had that it counts as the old game. The only reason they have a date for it is so that you know the date that the remaster came out.
So,
unless there's new content.
Because if I buy the game, if I bought the game 10 years ago, I still have to buy the remastered version. They're not taking the old game and updating the graphics and just giving it to me. If they do that, sure, I'll consider it the same game. But I'm paying for a whole new game. That's a new license. This is new. It might be regurgitated, but it's new to me.
I don't know.
It's new. It's a new game. It is announced like a new game. It is released like a new game. It has a new game date. It is listed as its own game within the list of titles that exist within that franchise. Always. It's a new game. Hands down. New game.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
New game.
So what would your answer be, Brett? You decide to play new games
I would say younger, because life is going to constantly be evolving, and like I don't have like the systems to play games that were 10 years ago. I don't have that anymore. I mean, I have my PS4. I have a broken PS3. At a certain point, technology degrades.
All right, here's...
Me too. I also agree. I'm doing newer games, so...
All right, so just as an example, because of what we were talking about, Kingdom Hearts being a good one, because it's gotten a bunch of remasters and stuff like that. In its overall games category, it does not list the remasters. It lists them as others because they are remasters. Because they don't supply new content. That being said, even if we count that, I don't know if this would change your decision at all, but Kingdom Hearts 1.5, the most recent way to play Kingdom Hearts 1, released in March of 2013. You have 4 months left.
That's fine.
4 months.
I'm not going back and replaying Kingdom Hearts 1.
No? Never again?
I have no reason to.
For nostalgia. I played Kingdom Hearts 1 earlier this year.
I have no reason to. And if I feel like seeing it, realistically, with the way life is right now, I'll just go watch it on YouTube.
I mean, that's fair. Watching is not the same as playing it, in my opinion.
Depends on what it is.
I have to pick no.
You don't want to just stream content from 10 years ago?
No.
Everybody would watch you. You're unique.
No, I'm not. There's already retro streamers.
There are plenty of retro streamers. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What?
There are people that base their channel on being retro. Their whole setup is from the 90s.
Shit.
And
I just thought I gave you the best idea in the world.
There are people that play,
damn.
like a game drops, they'll play that newest game, and the moment there's a lull, they're going back and just playing retro games over and over.
One of the streamers that I like, I try and check in when I can, but he streams when I'm usually asleep. But he and I are cool. We shoot the shit. His name's Key. He plays, his favorite thing to play is JRPGs. And
he plays the old ones.
And he plays old ones, like early 2000 JRPGs.
This man was playing, like, Legend of Dragoon and
he's having a great time. And he's built
an
an amazing community.
They are fun games. He's playing games that, like, if you chose the 10-year option, you could play and be fine. Incredible stories, in-depth combat system.
He's having a great time.
Games.
He loves it.
Yeah.
So, there are people like that, and he only plays JRPGs.
There's other old games that
let's just think about, if I just decided, fuck, man, I'm going to go play fucking Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
You can have a shit ton of fun in San Andreas.
In my opinion, best GTA game they made.
Agreed. Bro, the cheat codes? I remember going to, the book fair and like picking up like the cheat code book.
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
That's why
God,
I always say
bro.
when people accuse me of cheating, I always say I have never cheated in an online game.
In an online game.
But man, in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, man, I had planes, 4-wheelers, dirt bikes. I had everything. It would just spawn in front of me.
Money. I had military equipment.
Bro.
This shit
Spawned
was
right in
dumb.
front of me.
Bro,
Infinite health.
Life was putting on a jetpack, flying up to a really tall building, having infinite ammo and a rocket launcher, and causing absolute mayhem.
Just chaos. And then having
Chaos.
infinite health and then 5-star it. Just do the infinite health cheat and then automatic 5-star police search and just go to town. My point is, there are already plenty of streamers that have retro themes. I'll tell you this. You know what I just thought about?
Definitely.
No matter which option I go with, I can always play Skyrim. Because they're just going to keep re-releasing it.
Just gonna keep coming out with.
I can always, no matter which one I choose, I can play Skyrim and GTA 5. No matter what.
Nah, here's what's gonna happen. The moment you choose,
They stop doing it?
They never release another.
That's
one.
fine, because that means
They're
we're getting
done.
6.
But they just don't. They just don't release it. It's just done.
They never do
just
6?
stop. They never do 6.
You know what? I'm going to be real with you. If that's the sacrifice I have to make to stop seeing GTA 5 come out every 3 years, it's worth it.
Every 3 years. It'll never stop.
I'm so tired of seeing Grand Theft Auto 5 be released as if it's a new game.
It's
It's
funny.
not. There's nothing new. There's no new content.
So are you going to play the game when it comes out?
Which one?
GTA game?
GTA 6? Sure.
Nah,
I'm
man,
not
the
playing
next
GTA
GTA
5
5
again. I'm not doing GTA 5 again. Now, I would get Grand Theft Auto Online if I had friends to play it. I would do GTA Online because that could be chaos and fun. I'm not doing
down.
GTA 5 again. The last time I asked you, you said you were not interested.
I'm interested. Let's go rob a bank.
I wasn't interested in buying it again.
Are you
I have
interested
it
in
on
receiving
PC.
it as a Christmas present by Santa Claus? Is that
Here
what
comes
you want?
Santa Claus. Here comes Santa
Here
Claus.
comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa
Nah,
Claus.
somebody
No,
bought it for me.
I'm not I'm not playing GTA 5 again. I'm probably not playing Skyrim again. Especially since I platinumed it. Once I platinumed Skyrim, I was like, yeah, I'm never doing this.
Does that mean
to
you
myself
beat
again.
it?
I got every trophy in it. I did everything the game had to offer.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like, I'm not
I'm gonna
doing
be
it
honest.
again.
So, and this is an unpopular opinion, but I've never been the biggest fan of Skyrim.
I love Skyrim. I liked Oblivion
not,
more.
Not to say it was bad, but like I just never got the hype because it's so hyped. Like every time it's released, people go and replay the same game like 4 times. And I'm just like,
I couldn't get into it.
like it's the same shit. I
mean,
don't know. Like,
Same
I
thing
get
with
you
GTA.
Yeah, I get that you can do other things and like there is a lot to do, but at a certain point I'm just like, come out with a new game with actually improved graphics. I'm sorry, like the changes that
ain't
they
changed
made to
much.
Skyrim,
They ain't
it's
changed
not
much.
significant to
No.
the fact that we're on the PlayStation 5 and
Xbox Series X.
Series X.
I hate that name.
I
also
Xbox
hate that
One.
they named the
I hate
Xbox One the
Series
Xbox
X.
One.
Yeah. it's-
Why? Why? Makes no sense.
It was dumb. Like, I get why they did the Xbox 360. It's Xbox all around. I get it. It was dumb, but I get it. But all they wanted to do was be different than PlayStation. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to do something to set them aside from the company that had just done PlayStation 2 and then PlayStation 3.
Some of you were waiting for the Xbox 720.
I thought that's what it was going to be. It's
No, we're going
all
back to
around
one.
and better.
I wonder how many parents or grandparents bought their children an Xbox First Edition and they thought they bought
Like an
the
Xbox
newest
original?
console. Yeah, they're like, I got you an Xbox One. There's at least someone out there.
I'm sure there is.
What I love is there were people that sold Xbox 720s.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Like people actually bought them.
People bought them, right? Yeah.
But no, I agree with you in the sense of like I don't know why Skyrim became the eternal thing.
Yeah.
But when it first came out, it was way beyond its time.
Yeah, no, I get that. I absolutely get that.
Like when it first came out, it was one of the most lit games ever.
It is well behind its time now.
Now, yes, absolutely.
And it's been like that for a while.
Yes, for at least 5 years.
No matter how, like people like still say it's like up there with everything. Like,
I mean, it's a good game.
I get it's a good game, but we have to be realistic in where it is now.
I mean, if we're being honest, that's how I feel about Shadow of the Colossus.
I've never played it.
Shadow of the Colossus is way too fucking overhyped. It's not all that. It's fine.
I never hear Shadow of the Colossus hype from people.
I don't hear it in regular conversation, but the people that like it, they treat it like it's the greatest game ever.
Yeah, no, I don't hear that from actual people. I hear it from like
robots.
I don't know, like critic reviews and shit like that.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
And I'm just like, I'm not hearing it from like the consumer.
Right.
Like just
now, like when
no
I played
one I
it,
talked to ever.
when I played it, Eternal hyped it up as one of the greatest games ever. And it was fine. And then I was talking to Quinn about it while I was playing it. And even Quinn said, I mean, it's legendary. And I'm like, why? It's kind of fucking boring. Like, if we're being honest, Shadow of the Colossus, it set the footwork when it comes to, like, the mobility, the climbing and shit. It set the footwork for things like Assassin's Creed and God of War, but they did it better. Way better.
No, so I understand in terms of it's legendary. It's legendary in terms of the fact that it was revolutionary.
Like the mechanics were revolutionary, or
the mechanics kind of suck dick.
It was the idea.
The concept is really cool for thinking about when it came out.
Yeah, when it came out, it was a revolutionary game. And the thing with revolutionary games is they will maintain that status. It doesn't go away. Just because someone does something better afterwards doesn't change the fact that might not have existed.
So here's the problem. Here's the problem. What the game set the groundwork for. Top tier. I'm glad that they allowed us to get better things like Assassin's Creed and God of War. I can't give this game more than like a 6 because there's no voice acting. There is literally less than 20 minutes worth of story in this game that takes you at least 3 hours to beat.
So barely any cutscenes.
No. There are cutscenes. They just don't matter. You kill a boss, and then you get a cutscene of the statue of the boss you just killed collapsing. And then you find out which boss you got to go fight next. There's no voice work. There's lines. There's wording that you have to read, but there's no voice acting. And there's maybe 100 words for you to read in this game. It's playing the least fleshed out, non-voice acted game I've ever seen that hyper-focused on physical gameplay and absolutely did not give a shit and put a minimalist effort into a story. 90% of the things that happen in the game don't make sense because you don't know why. I am killing 12 Colossus to try and save this girl that appears to be comatose or dead. I don't know because they don't tell me. And I don't know why I care because I don't know who she is.
I don't know why I care because I don't know who she is.
Like there's no story building, I have no emotional attachment to this character.
Here's a way that it can kind of be put to where I understand where you're coming from with this, and maybe viewers might understand where he's coming from with this. A game like Anthem. So when Anthem comes out, it's trash. Anthem's horrible, right? Just about every aspect of Anthem is subpar at best, and it's a broken game. Broken game aside, because that's just how people are releasing games nowadays. It just wasn't great. But they did have a really strong mechanic, and that was the flying system.
It was an awesome concept.
If a game like Anthem came out during a period where it was a time of developing new ideas,
yeah,
it might be considered a legendary game because it brought you this mechanic that you've never seen before in a play style you've never seen before. And that was the thing Shadow Colossus did.
The only difference, and I completely agree with your point, the only difference I'll say, and this is giving Shadow the Colossus credit, they actually did what they were trying to do right.
Yes.
Physically, the game played the way it wanted to. And I will give that game credit. Physically, climbing up those Colossus, hitting weak points, having to figure out puzzles, it was very well created in that sense. I just can't treat a game, and it's like, if you look on Wikipedia, and I understand Wikipedia is not like the end-all be-all source, but it still has some merit to it.
Oh, you read Silo's review on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On Wikipedia, Shadow of Colossus even says that it is regarded to as one of, if not the greatest game of all time. I'm sorry, but a game that has less than 20 minutes worth of story cannot be the greatest game of all time.
It has no narration. No narration. That's
look,
funny.
I can't. I'm not hating on no narration. I'm hating on the fact that you couldn't get somebody to do 100 voice lines. If it was a fully fleshed out game, because Pokemon's never been narrated.
Like you take some of these games like Little Nightmares. Like, it tells a fully fleshed out story
without saying a word,
without saying anything.
But the characters don't speak.
No.
That's different. That's using the environment to tell the story. It shows you what the story you're trying to figure out is.
Exactly, yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus just says, fix this girl. Why? I don't care.
Just save her.
I don't know her.
You're a hero.
Is she my sister? Is she my girlfriend? Is she my queen?
No.
Who the fuck is she?
Save her.
But like I was saying, and you made a face like, wait, what? Like, oh shit, that's true. Pokemon has never had voice actors for their games. And
they're just so good they never needed it.
And it's still great games. Now, which ones are great and which ones aren't? But that's a question I actually wrote down because I saw a topic about it. Should the next generation of Pokemon have voice acting? Are we at the point where it's necessary? Because the original generations, I get why they didn't. They were on the Game Boy. It was a lot more work back then. But we're at the point where these things are fully fleshed out 3D world games on Nintendo Switches. We could have voice actors.
I feel like it's almost a signature for them not to have the voiceovers. Though,
no.
You know?
No. I think it would add so much to the game.
Yeah, it would add a lot. I really think it would add a lot.
I think it would add so much.
You think so?
I do. And this is the most important. 99% of games I play, I don't get to pick my character's personality. I'm not upset about that. But at least make it so my character fucking talks. Because why does everyone in the world give a shit about the character that just does this every time he's spoken to?
Or the ... in the chat
That's
bar.
It. That's all they do. How the fuck does anyone know what I'm thinking? And funny. I'll click on a response, and then my head motion doesn't even match the response I clicked on.
Yeah.
He went that way, and I just go...
Realistically, we're very... the main character is very limited in what they say. But they do give you... Now, they give you, certain things to respond
with.
Maybe to even gear what kind of personality you have. It wouldn't be that hard to put a voice to each of those. It also... Your responses don't matter.
No, so it's like, you can just click... So, I've come to the point where when I play Pokemon games, I barely read the text because it just doesn't matter. So I just press the A button as fast as I can to get through it so I can keep catching Pokemon.
You're crazy. You don't even read it?
It doesn't matter. It never
matters. That would
matters.
bother me to not know. To not know.
most Pokemon games don't even have a story. They're just beat 8 gyms, go beat the Elite Four. The new one at least has a little bit more than that, but not much.
To catch them.
I mean, and I will say right now, for anyone that hasn't played the game, I'm about to say a spoiler. So if you need to, fast forward a little bit.
Or just turn the volume off and Brett will wave at you when he's done with his spoiler.
Yeah, when I'm done with it, I will wave at the camera. So there is a team, it's Team Star, that's who this team is in this game. And their whole premise is they are a bunch of kids who got bullied.
So they left
grouped
the school.
Together. They left school. They're just
Dropouts.
Playing hooky. They're just leaving. They're just gone. And they formed this team where they recruit a bunch of people, like a bunch of other kids, to then go bully other kids with Pokemon.
But not at the school.
Not at the school, just around. Yeah. It's really weird. And then when you beat these individuals per their bylaws, they just stop being bad bullies. Guys. They stop being bullies. They wrote it into their laws
that if you lose, you're done.
You're done. You're no longer a bully. Like,
I can't be a bully anymore if I get beat?
They just won't do it. They actually go back to school.
Yeah, they give you a reward for beating them and then go back to school.
Yeah, you walk up. This is the way it is. You walk up to the bully, you beat the shit out of them. They give you money and go back to school. And a TM. Yeah, they give you a move for your Pokemon and go back to school.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense. Like that. Like, I would have rather them just give me an evil organization like they normally do.
Like Team Rocket and Team Magma and Team Aqua.
Yeah. Instead, they gave us this weird, I've been bullied and now I'm bullying. Like, I understand,
like, thing.
Yeah, it's really odd.
They're playing into the new gen.
And the teacher, doesn't
Clive.
make it. Oh my god!
Clive.
He makes even less sense because he's trying to stop them and bring them back to school, but he's not actually doing anything.
He's also so annoying because he just did his hair in a different way, and you're like, Mr. Clavel, and he's just like,
it's Clive. It's Clive. I'm a student like you.
You're not fucking Clive. You're 70,
dude. You're not fooling anyone, and
I am someone different.
Which it was comical. Like, it was
the first
anime kind of comical the first time. But
after
I call you out,
time,
after I call you out, you're done. You're just be you. I get it. You're the fucking you're the principal of the school. You want to help these kids. You're not doing anything, for the record. I don't know what benefit he actually has. Like, you beat a kid, and then he shows up, and the kid's like, I don't know what to do now. He's like, how about you go back to school?
You go back to school.
He's like, that's a great idea. I think I might do that. Really? Yeah. You needed him to come up with that decision?
It's a great idea.
All right, I'm going to stop talking about it now. Waving at the camera. Come on back, people.
All right, well, now that we've ended that, let's go ahead and answer our last question.
Go ahead.
From over on YouTube. It's actually like 15 questions, but they're all related to the same topic. So, do we want to do this one at a time, or should I just read them all? Because it's all one big comment.
I say we run through the gauntlet. All
right.
What do you think?
I say we read them all, and then we can touch back if we need to. Because they're all relating, like, we could be answering them at the same time. You know what I mean? So, Amber commented, I'm back, boys. Also, this huge comment was mostly written before the 15-question Ouija board thing was brought up, but then I decided to add more after that comment was made. Whether or not you count this as 15 is up to you. Here we go, gentlemen.
Opens up Amazon.
Create your own game with no limit budget. What is the theme? Is it open world? Is it MMO, FPS, Battle Royale? What are some of the mechanics you would add or wouldn't add? How many people would be able to play? Is it co-op or online co-op? Is there a storyline that is complicated and within gameplay, or just a background story? What kind of graphics would you have? Is there one solo character that is the main protagonist, or do you have several main characters? If there are several main characters, are they all playable? How much would this game cost? What time of the year would you try and release the game? If the game is based on anything from reality, would you include any myth or lore or history? What systems would it be available on? Would they all be available at the same time on multiple systems, or would there be staggered releases? If there are any voice lines, who would you want to voice some lines? Game on, boys.
Morgan Freeman.
So it's basically create a video game, which is funny as hell because, Brett, you and I have basically done this verbally before.
Okay. I kind of wish I would have read this before the podcast, and here's why. And maybe I can propose this idea before we get too into this.
Okay.
Gentlemen, what if we take this question and we make a separate video? Because I feel like this is a lot to answer. And there's a lot of details that can go into this question. Now, I could just answer just point blank question by question. Or we could just make a video where we go in depth and talk about what we would envision our perfect game being.
All right.
And what
so
it would have.
Let me ask you as
to make
a
it happen.
response to this proposal.
Okay.
Are you proposing as a separate video in a separate category, or are you proposing as a episode of the podcast on its own?
I say we just make a separate video.
A separate video that goes however long it may go.
However long it needs to go. If we need to cut out any fluff, we can do that. But I say we make a separate video.
I'm fine with that. My only thing would be, depending on how long each pitch takes. I would like to counter propose.
Okay.
I would like to counter propose. We take time, Amber. I'm sorry you won't get an answer to these questions immediately, but we take time. Each of us take, I don't know, a week or whatever we need to flesh out a game that we like on our own, individually. And then we make 3 videos where each video pitches their game, and the other 2 try and help build a better game out of it.
Okay.
I'm down.
I propose that we make 3 separate videos, each of us making our own game, and then each video being a pitch, and then ways to improve upon it.
I'm down.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
sounds good to me.
Audience, we will sort that out off of recording. Amber, I'm sorry that you will not be getting any answers right now, but if anything, you're getting better. You're getting 3 complete videos made just for your questions. Coming in the near future. I'm not going to give a deadline because this could be a lot of work.
Could be.
So I'm not going to give you a deadline, but I will say that you will get that. I think that's actually a great idea. It gives us a little bit more content. For our listeners on Spotify, because it's not going to be a podcast, I don't imagine that these will be uploaded to Spotify, so you will have to find them on the YouTube channel.
If you don't know where to
YouTube
find
exclusive.
that, it's www.youtube.com/BeyondUs, ENT.
Yeah, I think that should work. Yes. Additionally, because this was a question that was asked to me in person today, and this is something that we can obviously discuss off of the recording as well, but for any listeners, if there are other platforms you are interested in us uploading to, let us know so that we can look into the semantics of it. Because today I was asked, what do we put our podcast out on? And I said YouTube and Spotify. And they said, oh, okay, you don't do Apple Music. And I said, no, we're on Spotify. And they're like, well, I don't have Spotify. So that's something we can look into. But if you have other platforms, I don't know what other platforms there are, but I'm sure there are many. If you have other platforms you're interested in us putting out content on, please let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll look into the semantics. Now, I have a topic real quick that came up while I was hanging out at the tattoo shop last week.
Is it tattoo related?
No.
Okay.
Although, real quick, I can tell you about an idea I had for a really cool tattoo, I think.
Tell us.
So, as we know, my left arm is all tribal animals, and I plan on doing that with the rest of the arm. And my plan for my right arm is to have an entire Nordic theme. Thor, Mjolnir, Loki, all kinds of things like that.
So you're not getting a Pucciano?
I am not getting a Pucciano. I already have Pokemon, man.
But it's Pucciano. Come on, man.
Do you want me to get a Pucciano on this arm?
It's Pucciano wearing a hoodie.
Do you want me to get a tribal Pucciano?
Tribal Pucciano.
I would like the workup because if it looks dope enough,
we might both get it. All right.
Anyway.
So anyway, here's my idea. So, for those unfamiliar, there is a character in Norse mythology known as Jormungandr. It's the world serpent.
Giant ass snake.
It's a giant sea serpent known to be large enough to wrap around the world twice. So my idea, this was what I thought of, getting like Jormungandr's face somewhere on my forearm, right? Getting like a nice portrait kind of style, and then having the body kind of flow throughout the arm to fill up empty space, and then going over my shoulder blades. And as it makes its way over my shoulder blades, it transitions from realism into tribal, and then goes down the tribal arm, and connects both pieces with a giant world serpent.
Some interdimensional serpent shit.
Would you have it turn into it like an Atkins or like the snake? Is it Atkins? Ekans?
What, the Pokemon?
Yeah.
No. No, I'm not making it a bitch.
I'm just saying it.
I'd at least make it a Seviper.
Seviper, yes! Yes! Make it a Seviper.
But no, like the idea of having Jormungandr's face on my Nordic arm, and then the body goes, and then it goes over my shoulders, and as it goes across my shoulders, it does like a slow transition from realism into tribal. Like it goes like halfway through, it's tribal but with scales, and then gets full tribal, and then goes down the tribal arm and fills in a bunch of empty space on the tribal arm, and then the world serpent connects my two sleeves. I thought that would be really cool.
That sounds dope. You'd have to find someone who's really good at that kind of stuff.
My artist is solid.
Your guy.
Yeah.
I feel like. Do you think that would hurt? Like fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh, it'll be especially on the shoulders. The shoulder blades.
That wouldn't be one session. That would be a couple.
That'd be with multiple sessions. The outline alone would be multiple sessions. But anyway, the thing that kind of came up while I was shooting the shit down at the tattoo shop, we were kind of talking about the world we live in and cancel culture and all that, and it came up, how in the fuck has Family Guy survived cancel culture?
And South Park?
So, I think
I mean, Family Guy's whole premise is making fun of groups of people. I mean, think about how much racist shit they do just to be funny.
So, Family Guy and South Park have set a precedent. A precedent in the eyes of society that they don't take it seriously. They just don't.
I agree. My only problem with that is so have comedians and they get canceled.
Yeah. So they don't view South Park and Family Guy as real people. They don't view what the characters are saying. They don't view the creators. They don't view the ideas as real people ideas. When a comedian gets on stage, they see a person.
No, you're absolutely right.
They associate.
That's dumb as shit, but you're absolutely right.
I'm not saying it's right.
You're absolutely right. It's dumb as fuck, but the sad part is you are absolutely right. People haven't canceled things like Family Guy and South Park because they're cartoons.
I'm not saying they should be canceled, for the record.
No. I don't want them to be canceled. I don't think comedians should be canceled.
No.
The whole point of comedy is to fucking push the line. Find the line and step on it. That's when you get a good comedian. Look, here's my opinion. This is just my opinion. People can have a different one if they want to. But in my opinion, if you are going to see a comedian, shut up and listen and laugh. If you are the kind of person that is going to get offended easily at things, don't go fucking see comedians.
So, like, the idea of where, like, comedians and comedy came from, it wasn't just laughter. it was laughter in the face of tragedy.
Right.
Like that's why you see like the when it comes to like the image of comedy, you see the mask with a smiley face and the mask with a frown.
With a crying face. Right.
Yeah. Because you are finding light in the face of tragedy. Light in the face of darkness. Like you are making light of a situation even though it might be bad.
Right. It stems from Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Shakespeare had three types of plays: tragedies, comedies, and histories. Those were his three categories. Tragedies and comedies usually had things together. A lot of people think, they think of Romeo and Juliet when they think of a love story turned tragedy. There's a shit ton of comedy in Romeo and Juliet. A shit ton. Mercutio is one of the funniest written characters in all of Shakespearean history.
Now, it is important to note, their brand of comedy is
dark.
Like what they found funny might be different than what people find funny nowadays. But it doesn't change what they were laughing at in relation to what was happening.
Right.
And like, especially because like these were plays. They were done on stage. So like tragic things were happening in the play. But what the audience was seeing was fucking hilarious.
Right.
And that's where it stems from. That's where comedy and stand-up comedy stems from, is stuff like that.
And science has suggested that that's the reason when we see someone fall, we laugh.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. If you see somebody fall down or you see somebody get cup checked, you laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's your first instinct. Like, if it looks serious, your instinct is to check on them. But if it's minor... Like, it's dude, funny. I'm laughing at you.
So something, and I'm only right now thinking about it, and it probably has relation. Obviously, I don't know, but hysterical laughter. When something is so extreme that it kind of breaks the mind a bit, like so tragic or so traumatizing, all you can do is laugh.
Oh, I laugh when I get angry.
I imagine it like, yeah. When people laughter, it stems from that same source of there's like this balance of bad and the way your mind copes with it.
Before you have a psychotic break.
Make it good. Yeah. You have to like have the reaction of good.
Nope, absolutely.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, it all stems from that.
You just kind of laugh.
And like I said, I don't think any of the shows or comedians in general should be canceled by any means. I think that I don't really watch Family Guy anymore, but they've made their careers off of stepping over that line. It's what they do. They obviously don't mean it. I
kind of view it like if you're going to go watch a movie, you suspend your disbelief.
Right.
If you're going to go see a comedy show, you should suspend that part of you that gets offended because you're going to see a comedy show. You're going to go see a movie.
Right. Yeah. If you're so easily offended, don't go to comedy shows. It's that simple. And please, for the love of God, please stop getting offended on behalf of other people. Defending someone is fine. If you hear something, like if I were walking around and I heard something just obligatorily racist, as someone whose two best friends are both African American, I am going to say something. But I am not going to be offended for them. Because realistically, they weren't going to be offended. I will defend them in situations they deserve defending, which ain't much when it comes to Brett. But I'm not going to be offended for him because he can do it himself. He's a big boy.
You don't know what I am.
All right,
you don't know where I am.
You little ass pecker. So did you guys see the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 yet?
No. Is it good? Should I watch it? No. Oof. Will it ruin the movie for me?
No. So Adam Warlock doesn't look anything like Adam Warlock. Which is weird because these are Marvel movies that base themselves on changing people's appearance with CGI. Drax the Destroyer, Batista looks nothing like he normally looks, but for whatever reason, Adam Warlock's just a white dude instead of a glowing yellow man with sun for hair. Like he's just a normal, he's just a normal white dude. Now, granted, I like him. Accurate. I like him. I like the actor they got. I can't think of his name. Will Poulter, the guy that played the son in We're the Millers, where it was Jennifer Aniston drug smuggling.
Yeah,
and he was the one who got his balls bit by the spider.
You guys get paid?
Yeah. You guys get paid. Yeah, he's gonna be Adam Warlock. Now I will say this: there is a part where Mantis looks like she is having a straight up breakdown, like she just watched someone die breakdown. And if I had to guess, as someone that couldn't have seen the movie yet, I have no idea. My prediction: it's Drax.
That would make sense. I mean,
she's the only one she's connected to.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that Drax and Rocket both die in this coming movie.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Because Groot's a baby still? Is that
no, Groot's now like a halfway between teenager and adult.
And they can't really off Groot. They already did that.
No, they won't kill Groot. I think so. I think they'll kill Rocket because of all signs and indications say that Bradley Cooper's done after this movie. So they probably kill Rocket because that's his voice actor. And I just don't see any reaction from Mantis like that unless it's Drax dying.
And they don't have to do the CGI. I don't know how they do the guy, but I'm sure he's purely CGI with just a voiceover. So they're going to save a lot of money that way too, probably.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of crazy because Drax is the only reason those movies are even fucking fun half the time. Oof. I mean, I love Groot. Don't get me wrong, but
but and Batista
just kills it.
He's like the perfect freaking role, the perfect freaking guy for Drax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he fit the role so perfectly. But yeah. I don't know if you have any topics you want to bring up while we wait for Brett to come back.
Let me see. Did you hear about that like California is passing a law that might make it legal to deploy lethal robots? I think that shit's crazy, man. Mm-hmm. So like SWAT type shit where they're basically gonna give the authority for lethal force for a robot in like SWAT type situations.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, so I think that stuff is crazy to see how like the future. I don't know. I just think I don't think you should give that power to a robot, especially if it's not like, is it a human looking at it? Is it all calculations? Like so many questions.
That's a bad idea.
That's how iRobot started. Like, oh my gosh.
More or less, yeah. I don't like that at all.
When the risk of loss of life to members of the public or officers is imminent, the officers cannot subdue without using an alternative force. This would be able to be used as a situation diffuser, but still, you're going to kill somebody.
I am not a fan of the idea of deploying lethal approved robots. Bad idea. Bad idea. Yes. Brett's just like, no, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
That doesn't sound great.
So just so you know, Brett, supervisors in San Francisco voted Tuesday to give city police the ability to use potentially lethal remote-controlled robots in emergency situations. So they're giving them lethal authority to use those robots.
Who the fuck are these supervisors?
The police. The police department.
Oh,
they'd have like a little department. They'd create a new department for it. Like next to SWAT, you'd have them.
Like if you told me that they had drones that they controlled, maybe you're keeping like the officer not physically there to have to be potentially attacked, but like I don't want something autonomous that's going to act on its own.
Right. Remote control is different.
That's like that's not okay.
But I just saved this article because it's like one of those articles you think you read in the future, like, oh, they're finally fucking deploying robots in the streets of California to kill us. Like that's just crazy.
That's how fucking Terminator starts, bro. I don't like that. Brett, we're going back to Bolivia.
Not Bolivia.
I don't wanna.
What's in Bolivia?
I don't wanna.
The Terminator.
Bolivia.
This shit was exhausting.
Wait, was it Bolivia or was it Aroa? It was Aroa that the Terminator showed up in.
It was Aroa, but I'm gonna have to go back to my Bolivian roots.
Yeah.
Not your Bolivian roots.
We used to put in work in Bolivia.
Dude.
Bro. We used to put in work.
Anyone that's subscribed to Pip Killer right here, if you've seen his shorts, that's
That's just
tip of
light
the
work.
iceberg. You know?
Speaking of which, did you see the new short that came out today, Brett?
Where you shot that man in the anus? Yes. Yes, Aldo. Yeah. One, I think you should subscribe to your buddy here. Two, he shot somebody in the anus.
Hold on. So Brett and I were playing Sniper Elite 5, okay? And the cool thing about Sniper Elite games is if you get like a critical shot sometimes more than others for certain people, it'll slow down the game for both players and show you the shot in slow motion. So like if you get like a brutal headshot,
and
it'll show the bullet. It'll
X-ray
show the
shots.
bullet and it'll show an X-ray of like it hitting the brain, blowing out an eye socket. And so I got a slow-mo shot and I had aimed at this dude's ass. I was trying to get a testicle shot. If I'm being totally honest, I was trying to get a testicle shot because those always make me laugh.
Much prefers aiming at dude's ass. So
it makes me laugh when I get testicle shots. But I shot, and I kid you not, Salo, the bullet hole went in, and it was a perfect spot. Like, it looked like it was his butthole. It was right down the seam of his pants. It was right down the seam of his pants, and it just went right in, left a little red bullet hole, and dropped the man. And Brett was like, did you just shoot that man in the anus? And then I shot the next guy right in the leg, and it broke his femur, and Brett was just like, yeah, that's going to be pain. Like,
that's funny. Where can I see this shot?
On my personal YouTube, Pipkiller94 on YouTube. It's one of the shorts. But Brett and I, a bunch of clips from Brett and I, just sync sniping.
By the way, that was not a plug. Salo needs to actually go watch this.
I
just want to clarify that's not a plug.
Now, what is a plug is this year I did a bunch of charity streams through the National MS Society. The 2022 Stream to End MS campaign has ended. That page is no longer up. You can no longer donate to it. However, I have already pre-signed up and been pre-approved for Stream to End MS 2023. Nice. That page is already active. If and when people want to donate, you can donate to the 2023 campaign. We'll be sure to include a link to that campaign page in the description of this video on YouTube. No donations are required. Please don't think I'm trying to ask for money. If you are in the mood to donate to a charity, the National MS Society is a wonderful organization. They genuinely use the money to treat people in the community that have MS and take care of them and work hard to work on helping MS treatment. So I'm proud to work with them on my personal channel. I'm glad that I've gotten to work with them this past year. I'm excited to work with them next year. I've added some more interesting incentives for if we reach milestones. I think once we hit $500 on the new campaign, I have to go get fake nails put on and play games on stream with fake nails.
That's
and at $1,000, I'm going to do a cosplay stream.
Are you bringing back the jelly beans? Because I'll donate for a jelly bean. I didn't get to do that.
I wasn't planning on it, but I can. I can get more Bean Boozled. I do have a 5-gallon thing of warheads. And $5 donations, you can pick a warhead that I have to eat. $15 donation, you can make me eat 5 at a time.
Is that gonna be a problem for you?
Do you need?
It will after a few.
What's wrong? Yeah, what's wrong with the warheads?
It'll be a problem. Have you ever had fucking 60 warheads in one night? Shit starts to hurt.
I had a bunch of warheads. I'm just saying.
Shit starts to hurt. All right, maybe I should mention this.
It seems like light work. I'm just
maybe
saying,
I should mention this. Maybe I should mention this because this is important. We all know that sour shit gets more sour the longer it sits. These warheads are 3 years old.
I don't know, man. It sounds like
so then they're also stale. But man, I'm just trying to raise money.
I'm not saying that.
Look, real talk. If you got better ideas, for incentives or for milestones, if Salo, you got better ideas for incentives or milestones, if listeners have better ideas for incentives or milestones, let me know. I'm down to add shit. Right now, $5 for a warhead, $15 for 5 warheads, $25 to add your name to a shirt. And then once those name slots fill up, that shirt will be added to my personal merch store as an official shirt. That's and cool. Once we hit 500, I got to get nails. And once we hit 1,000, I have to do a cosplay stream. I just set the page up today.
Yes!
It's very minimal.
How about this?
I like the $1,000 one.
Now,
I don't know what I'm going to cosplay as. Right now, I'm thinking Roadhog from Overwatch.
I'm a preface this to the audience. I'm not asking their opinion. So this is me to you representing Beyond Us. Put in the comments right now incentives that you think Beyond Us should do for this charity.
Ooh.
Not just old Pip Kid over here.
We can all do Bean Boozled.
I'll do Bean Boozled. Let's do it.
Bro, I swear to God, every time Brett donated, it was a gross one.
Oh, yeah. No,
every time.
It was impressive.
Every time.
Very impressive.
Every time.
Seriously, audience, throw down there in the comments. Let us know what you think Beyond Us should do at certain milestones, certain amounts.
For sure.
That
it can be a tandem effort.
Yeah, we can try to put together and try to raise money for this charity.
You want us to eat a spicy chip? We will. We got the.
I still have to do the one chip challenge. I just have to figure out what milestone to put that.
You can't ask them to do things that you're just going to do it.
You're just going to do anyway, bro.
That's not fair.
Because we already know as soon as this recording ends, you're going to take that polo off, be sitting there in a beater eating salsa and shit. We already know. He's laughing hard and flipping me off because I'm not wrong.
He's upset because his girlfriend's making salsa right now. That's why he's mad. She's in the kitchen cooking.
Don't be changing my dinner plans, y'all.
But anyway, no, real talk. Just as a little side thing when it comes to the charity thing. So today I got my final tally for 2022. We raised just over $1,800.
That is awesome.
Which is a really big accomplishment, especially for a small streamer, because I'm definitely still a small streamer. I was in the top 5% of fundraisers for the National MS Society this year. So I'm very proud of it. Anybody that's listening that donated, thank you so much. It meant a lot to me. I'm probably going to do another charity stream in January. Maybe another 12 or 24 hour. And I have actually been contacted. There's still some semantics to work out, but there could be a large sum of donation on the line for a 72-hour stream. If that all gets worked out, I'll be doing 72 hours worth of continuous streaming for the potential for $2,000 donated.
Safely.
So, through another organization that likes to promote things like that. So there's still some semantics to be worked out there. There's no guarantees, but I do want to do more charity streams. I want to raise money. And I want to give you guys cool incentives and milestones. Beyond Us, as Brett just said, is on board to do the same. So let us know individuals, milestones, Beyond Us milestones. Any and everything that you can donate is much appreciated.
Now he has mentioned
more than anything, just spread the word.
This is small time. I'm sure you guys all understand that. In a lot of situations like this, incentives get brought back to you guys. In order for that to happen, subscribe.
True.
Got him. Like, subscribe
on both channels. I'm gonna need you to subscribe on a personal channel too to keep track. But on the Beyond Us channel, because as you heard less than an hour ago, we're gonna be putting more videos out apparently.
So
and Brett and I have been talking about some other video ideas. Salo and I have been talking about some other video ideas. We're going to try and continue to get more content out to you guys.
Me and Salo don't talk about video ideas.
Never.
Brett and Salo don't talk. They're not actually on speaking terms.
No.
Only for the podcast. I have like 15 more minutes on my retainer.
I don't know if you've noticed. I've never actually addressed him personally since this.
We just talk around each other. It just seems
not
like
only
we're
that,
talking
but
at
he
each other.
volunteered all of Beyond Us without consulting Salo. Like, he knew I was on board. It's my charity page.
We just talk around each other.
That's the way friends do.
Ah, yes. I talk shit around him.
And about him. But anyway, but no. So that's all I have when it comes to the charity page. We'll put a link in. Thank you, and just most of all, spread the word. If you tell 10 people and each of them give $10, that's $100 right there. And I mean, that chain can continue. They can tell 10 people. I've always thought of things like that. Like if 10 people tell 10 people and everybody gives $10, that's $1,000. Like it's that quick. You know what I mean? Like it's, and $10 out of your monthly budget doesn't sound as big as it did. You know what I mean? Like, so just spread the word. That's all I ask. Spread the word. Come hang out for the charity streams when I decide to schedule them. And I'll talk more about that as those get closer. Because even if you're not able to donate, just being in the charity stream helps get more eyes on, which might mean more people that can donate can come. Yep. So, but yeah, that's all I got for that.
We ready to wrap this up, boys?
I'm on a gravy train. I think so. Amber, once again, we're sorry that we didn't answer any of your 15 questions, but you're going to get more thorough answers going forward. So, don't feel slighted.
Now.
Don't feel slighted, and please continue to ask questions. And thank you, Amber. I feel like we didn't say that. Thank you for using the YouTube to ask us these questions so that we know that we're getting viewership on that platform as well as on the Spotify platform. Much appreciated. And we'll get you your videos as soon as we can. Anything else, gentlemen?
I'm good.
All right, Salo, take us out.
All right. Well, thank you again for watching, guys. This has been Beyond Us. I hope you like, subscribe, hit the bell, notifications, do everything you can. And I'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Just words. Whew, okay.